This is the story of Prototype Barnet. Think Public worked with Barnet Council and Nesta to develop a new community service for families with complex needs in Barnet. User research suggested that life coaching could help families build their confidence, resilience, and reduce their dependency on state services. We built a team of people from across Barnet Council and the community, including residents, volunteers, the police, children's services, housing, adult social care, the job centre and health services. We created 3 teams to support the project. The core team, their job was to help build, run and test the prototype. The critical friends, their job was to cast a critical eye over the process and ask those challenging questions. And the prototyping champions, their job was to share the vision and values of the project across Barnet Council. We then researched the best place to prototype and test the idea, making sure we can involve the community, volunteers and potential families. With the core team, we started to design lots of ideas for how the life coaching concept could actually work. We selected the top 3 ideas and used storyboarding and roleplay techniques to test these ideas with the community. We took our prototypes out into the community and tested them with local families, volunteers, charities and local businesses. We also started to test different business models by looking at models like the Cubs, Neighbourhood Watch and Weight Watchers. This helped us think about the management and the funding of our ideas. With everything that we'd learnt from this, we started to build a clearer picture of what the service would be like. We called our refined idea Community Coach. It would involve local people who are trained to help local families deal with short-term issues and identify longer-term aspirations and goals. We still needed to test a number of things. How the families were referred, for example, how the volunteers were recruited and trained, and what value does this service add, and how could you measure that? We made a 6-week live prototyping plan and we recruited 6 volunteers to work with. The core team worked to design resources and tools for the prototype coaches and helped give them some training to get them started. Over the 6 weeks, the volunteers recruited the families and engaged them in some coaching. Frequent get-togethers were facilitated, which helped the coaches share their learning and make necessary changes as they went along. The core team also provided ongoing support to the volunteers over the telephone. At the end of the live testing, we had learnt a number of things about the service, and we were also able to identify areas where more investigation was required. The next step for the Community Coach service is now to run a longer prototype to better understand and evaluate the impact on local families. We asked the volunteers, the core team and Barnet Council to tell us what they thought.
If you're manufacturing something physical, you've got to start with a prototype. It's a learning process, so could we have done something differently? I'm glad to be part of this and let's make it a success.
What I really love about it is that right from the outset it promotes involvement. There's a lot more confidence and ideas and insight into how you could make that work. It's easy to say, oh, I never would have done that, rather than say, I don't know, let's try it.
We at the council think prototyping is really important. About managing risk, cheapness. This isn't a full-blown pilot. It's also impactful. It's a really good way of visualising how something might work, playing with it, and a really good way of empowering and engaging with both staff in the council and our partners, and also the community.